Hello and welcome to the Crypto Day morning. Today's date comes in that of the 13th of March 2019. I'm going to do this video a little more advanced, or at least I'm expecting that, or this is for those who have watched my videos for a while. If you get lost with some of the stuff I talk about, just watch the videos in the past or keep watching, you'll get used to it. As far as ApeCoin is concerned, and all bets, trades of the like, yada yada, within each his own risk reward. I see the beautiful setup in here. This level of resistance at 1231 is one that it's been entangling with for quite some time. 4 hour term time frame within its volatile moves, having a lot of action and play within this with the 18 starting to rise. So I think there's just a lot of good potential within this. And with all the moves that this has had in the past, to me, this is just a phenomenal setup looking move. Where in here we're supporting this resistance. Here, this is the same as this support, but it's actually got volatility. And I'm going to go through these coins really quickly because Komodo's the one that really irritated me yesterday. And thus, I'm going to talk about that one last. And PivX has got a good setup. I like on the daily term time frame how after yesterday's breakout, we can see how it's supporting in that little area 18 average starting to rise. Amongst its weekly term time frame, it's still in the area of a flattening 18 average. And the 4 hour, some awesome volatility, several line spikes, and then coming back to its 18 average each time. This one in here as well. DGB taking off yesterday with the phenomenal gain as it's been rising well above the 18 after this break of the 300 level. And uptrend line in here taken out. Nice little gain on the break. That's normal in a situation like that. Nice congestion so far, but it's still at the point where it could go either way at this point of view. But within this on the weekly chart, it's establishing in its stage number 2. Vericoin is probably the second worst coin I've ever seen for transferring in times. It took about 28, 29 hours for me to send it to an exchange. But throwing that part aside, weekly term time frame has got this symmetrical wedge situation as it's doing so amongst the 18 average of highs. So that makes it a very interesting pattern and situation. And on the daily term, we can see on here how we've had these couple spike days up. This is looking very phenomenal in my book, and it's at an area of very key shorter term resistance at around this 12.2 number. And this is where I normally say, oh, as far as level resistance, I'm going to, but you should already know the answer to that. Dash with a nice break above its 18 average and above this level of resistance so far in the session, holding and staying in around that key area. And it's about this number here. This is the 3 times hit level. So therefore, I see something like this. I want to look at it and see it on the short-term time frame. And so far, after it got there, kind of resisted in that area. So maybe even put the line down towards here. That it's holding in very well so far, but obviously as it plays through, to me there's no way of telling if this is going to be a top on this really short-term time frame or not. Within Litecoin against Bitcoin, nice little sideways correction. Markets have corrected through time in this case. As we can see, it validated that at least using that as the 18 average. But the hour time frame, we're looking at that failed breakdown possibility coming in as it managed to break down below that level of support. And now back into that area now. So this looks like it's got an interesting situation for the possibilities of a great move today. Theta continues its big volatile move, high volume situations, as it had the very quick spike breaking above that key level resistance that it had to, because 3,600 to 4,000 was that key area. And as I mentioned before, if I figured this is going to break out, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 10. So now it has that quick little breakout, quickly comes back to where it came from. So therefore, it's the obvious failed breakout higher, or it's that move coming back, so leaving either one, and it's already established. We can see some resistance on the higher and the lower ends. It's broken down below this level of support, but for the situation on this, well, to me, it's either going to make one side or another, and I'm not trying to guess, and I don't want to spend much time on this. And final one before going into the frustrating Komodo is Bitcoin. And it's staying in this little 18 correctionary move. But like Litecoin, same little thing here on the single hour time frame. As far as the possible failed breakdown, fast move, as it managed to break down both the levels of support in the 38.53 area and then the 12 o'clock lows here. and then managing to quickly get above it again. So if you take a look at this by putting a line here and even shortening it out even further, say within the 5 minute term, we can see how it broke, it got below it, got above it, got below it again to really say that that's pretty bearish. How you break through that statement, you resist below it, come down and back again, but no big deal. I mean, this is a spot where it could easily resist it. It's been doing so. But it leaves the 18 average to the upside, and we can see the damage that comes in after that. So there's your failed break move there. It started at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it broke out of it at 8:40. And Komodo. Yes. I'm going to talk about a frustrating story of how this happened last night. Not a big fan of Binance, and well, I mean, what else can you do? You knew it going in anyway. Okay, we'll get to that part at the conclusion, but first let's look at the technical analysis of Komodo. Very interesting looking setup of the chart. After its breakout higher, we can see resistance established in here on 2 different days. And again, this whole general area, majorly support established at the 23 handle. And today's session, a clear breakout above the highs, breaking the resistance of 27.9, breaking the resistance of 31, and managing on Bittrex to get up to 38. So therefore, holding and staying above here is fine on the daily, but the weekly could still, it could go technically further. We'll take a look at that in a second. But where it is now, I would really, really like to see it hold and stay above. So on the weekly, as I state in here, and this is where it gets interesting as well, because after correctionary time, the 4 steps. I mean, this is nowhere near high enough for stage 2 established resistance. This technically is. If it isn't, then this one has to be. So therefore, breaking established resistance bull market in here. And if that's not the case, well, the break above here made it a bull market. But after this move, as it goes, it had 3 periods before, not counting this one, where it just stayed and hung in there within what is a now newly rising 18 average. And after this now, well, that's holding and staying in here. Now, technically, the reason why I say it could go lower, I still don't think it's that healthy as far as it's set up to do so. But as long as, on this breakout, as I say, as long as it holds this area where it came from, which would have been around 19.2, 19.4, even the 20 number. So it pierced below 20, which does coincide with the 18 lows. And that, so technically it could go more, but I don't think it's as productive if it does it. And now let's talk about the frustrations of this game. So to do so, let's take a look at this. The frustration was this move. Oh, not here, not on Bittrex. It wasn't frustrating. 4, I sold at a lot of different spots, all the way up to near this high. There's all the sell, whatever, and there was some buying going down as well. I bought at the 31 and the 27 handle. A pierce below 31 and a pierce above 27. I'm looking to. I haven't put my new orders in yet because I just most recently bought at 27, but I'll look to buy back at around 24 in this area here. Maybe 25, 24 change, most likely like 24.6, and I'll be selling up probably at its previous high. And how I trade this on Bittrex is the base game. It's the most simplest of the simple strategies because it doesn't tell you when or where to sell. That's up to you. But it tells you what to sell. Very easy. For me, this is always worth X. So technically, I am worth like right now 1.05x because I bought at 27,000 and it's now 27,100. So therefore, on the sales going up, that's no, yeah. I want to make this not so fast. So I've already talked about this, and I'm going to just stop doing so now. If you're curious about this, just let me know in the comments. But the whole point is I sold up top, I've bought in twice, and I'm going to be looking to sell probably here. Because at this time, when the market was looking good on the one, I don't know what it was looking like in here. I probably wasn't. I wasn't noticing Komodo was having a sick gains until somewhere around here. I noticed there was an arbitrage available. It was about 2.5, 3%. So I thought, heck, why not? It's not like it's that hard to do. All I need to do is cancel all my sell orders on Komodo for Binance, because this is where to sell. Sell it, buy it on Bittrex. You can get a couple more, pretty much literally. And then I can send funds, the Komodo, from Bittrex to Binance. So that's no big deal. And I'll need to just work amongst base currency Bitcoin, and that'll be easy as well. But I'll take care of that later. So therefore, we have a box here. It was actually this medium period here, or it was 2250. That is when I sent my Komodo from Bittrex to Binance. Man, that sucks that I did it. I knew it's 120 confirmations for Binance on Komodo. It can take a decent amount of time. And here we have the market going higher. And I have none to sell because I mentioned I X trade on Bittrex. On Binance, I do my normal gain alt type of strategy that I talked about in that 7-part series in this one. So I had my last sell order at 29. I would have had another one in again at around 33. It's every 10% moves is what I'm doing. Every 10% it goes up. So again at 33, again at around 36. Easily would have got both the sells, and had I had them. But even at this time, I'm getting pretty excited at this point because I'm thinking, okay, just hold these gains. I wish I had my Komodo now. But I want to sell a 33. If I can get a 35, 36 sell, if I can get 4,000 or 40,000, oh man, this is going to be lovely. So in doing this play, there's risk reward. You could either win or lose on doing this, and you know it's going to work out to lose. I mean, I've already spoiled it for where it goes. But if I would have sold at 36, that means I would have gotten, instead of a 133 and one at 36, I would have had two at 36, basically. Now, that's better because this one would have been worth more. But as time goes on, oh, this box here. So this is 2250 or 2250. I stayed up till like 12:30 in the morning. And even a little bit after that for other things. Because of it. It took a little more than an hour and a half. And at this point, I'm just hoping, well, at least have your debt. If you're going to go down, at least have your lower high rally for me. So I put my sell order in at like 33 something, like 33.60, 33.50. And I even thought, like, that's conservative. I could even be going 34.50, I was thinking, but not even close on any of it. As it just kept going down and down. I haven't traded this since the arbitrage. I don't got a buy order until about 26. I think it was 3,000 that I last traded it at. It's at least, I haven't even logged in, but I know 26 has got to be, knowing me. There's no way it'd be higher. So anyway, like I said, I missed out on those trades. Had, of course, I not arbitraged, what would have happened would have been nicer if I had been just there at the computer. As I ended up would have seen that I sold at 3,000. Okay, adjust my book. Buy order 26. Sell order, well, go like around 33. Oh, sell order hit. Okay, buy order 29, maybe. 28.50, 28.75. I would have considered. Okay, sell order 36, 37 area. Oh, hit. Okay, buy order 32. And then, of course, that buy order would have hit. Sell order 37. And then, yeah, yada, yada. Now, I would have even wished that I never even did that. Because before all this even happened, back in here. How did I have my orders? I can't remember exactly. I don't know if it would have worked out or not, but well, definitely with sell orders 29. That's for sure. But what was my upper sell order above that? And I'm trying to think of what it was, and maybe I can view on Binance canceled orders. And I don't want to know because it would just be depressing. And I don't get depressed like this too much, but because it's like I'm so used to losing whatever. It's like, yeah, I can blow it off or just who cares. But I would have had one order for 29 and selling more coins, and not for a 10% move. I probably would have went about 38, which is where it went. But I might have been 37 either way. But I would have had a very good order fill. So I would have woke up and then let's see. I got up at what time did I get? It's a new days because of the sun clock, and I haven't adjusted my time as far as my biological time, so I'm up an hour later nowadays. So I got up about 8:45. So I would have got up and seen, oh, it's at 28. 8:45. It's at 28. So I would have been like, oh, sweet. So I would have bought back that one I would have sold near 37, say, right now. That would have been sweet. And then I would have noticed, okay, I got that 330 number to handle. Let's put a buy order in maybe around 26, 25.5. And then I'll put a new sell orders in. And that just would have been a better day. But that's how it goes. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.